Good morning, friends. I'm in continuation with my house tax structure and assessment under the triennial composition. And this is my third video on this subject, which will be covering. Now, there are many bungalow owners which have illegally, I don't say that, but the department puts you on to have purchased these bungalows and do not have anything other than a GP or a will or anything what documentations they have done. Now, this 152nd video of mine will speak on two subjects. One is inherited people and one is those people who have purchased bungalows. Now, what do you do to get yourself mutated for tax purposes? Let's forget the mutation done in the GLR, which is with the DO. But it is the duty of the tax superintendent who is supposed to register you. So, all owners, inhabitants, occupiers will write this letter. This letter would be called for the reassessment list under the Cantonment Act 2006. Now, you can say that we've inherited the property like this or we've purchased the property. The Cantonment Act 2006 was very well notified, refer that. Then come to the section in the second para under section 2. The act, unless there is anything repugnant in the subject, ZC talks of inhabitant in relation to a cantonment or local area means any person ordinarily residing or carrying on business or occupying immovable property within the CO's domain. ZI calls ourselves as an occupier, includes an owner in occupation or otherwise using his own land or building. ZL calls us owner, includes any person who is receiving or is entitled to receive the rent of any building or land, whether on his own account on behalf of himself and other, or an agent or trustee, or who would so receive the rent to be entitled, and so on. Now, here we must tell the superintendent, as it is written, neither above the three, occupier, inhabitant, owner, in the proposed Cantonment Act and the notice dated so and so issued by CEO, Cantonment Board under section so and so, whereby heirs has been said to have committed an offence, breach of law under section of the Cantonment Act on account of the change of the alleged use of the bungalow, so and so number, so and so, which is your bungalow now. Let's say if there is a notice of taxation on you, and I am referring to this letter of mine, which I have asked a lot of bungalow owners to write, and some have approached me for this. The CO can't being so frivolous and malafide intentions with legal discrepancy, incomplete, and at the very first instance, this notice needs to be quashed, and my rights to the constitution should be as a bungalow owner or an occupier, since the property has been inherited or has been purchased by me. Now, if it is inherited, there is a para under section 82 and section 89(2) of the Cantonment Act that I have inherited the property. Now, if it is purchased, you similarly write under the 286 of the Cantonment Act, where sale purchase is allowed. Now, you completely brief your letter with the para that I propose that a reassessment list needs to be made under section 79, because after the death of Mr. A, who's been my father, under section 80, which reads as follows. What does it say? 79 section says amendment of list. The CO may, after obtaining the approval of the President Cantt Board, amend the assessment list by inserting or omitting the name of any person whose name ought to have been brought. In the case of a tax payable by an occupier, by changing the name of the occupier, provided that no person shall by any reason or amendment be liable to pay taxes increase and so on. So there is a provision where the list is to be amended. But what are the tax superintendents doing? They issue you a tax structure. Let's say I'll name a bungalow owner Wing Commander Nagina Singh, care of the occupant as present, whom they would write illegal occupant, unauthorized occupant. That's wrong. They cannot. We need to ask for this assessment list. Now, similarly, we draft a para that since under section 79 subpara 2, which reads as follows: the proposed amendment. Before making an amendment, subsection 1, the CO shall give to any person affected by the amendment notice of less than 1 month. And once this notice is issued, so this assessment has to be done because there is no objection. Mr. A, none of his family members or anybody in the general public has objected to be the present owner as an occupier, inhabitant or anything under section 2Z and ZI and ZL. So here, once this section 2 notice is complete, then there has to be a notice under section 79(3). Any person interested in any such amendment may tender the objection. Now these objections will flow into the CO. Now once these objections come and they are removed, or none of the objections come, the CO and the tax superintendent have to make this assessment list. Now where is that assessment list written? It's written in section 80. The CO executive officer shall prepare a new assessment list at least once in every 3 years for the purpose of the provisions of 75 to 79, which is the taxation chapter. Has he done this for your bungalow for the last 20, 40, 30 years? There are so many people who call me, Mr. Das, we have been not mutated in the property, the tax structure or the tax superintendent is charging us tax for the last 20 years and they are jolly well paying it either. You stop paying tax. Ask the tax superintendent, please amend my list first and then we will pay. Then he will be forced to do it. So here the CO is even bounded under section 81 subpara 6 that if he does not, or either way, the owner does not tell him, either can file a criminal case on each other. Have we done this? No, we've not done this. So friends, if till we don't educate ourselves, till we don't read these laws, generally we go by those old perceptions happening, okay, 10% of tax has been increased, Mr. Das, why go to court? Never mind, maybe 40% of tax increase. At least ask for your tax structure. What has increased? Has the STR increased? Now these all tax structures are correlated with the STR, where I've said 9%. So there is going to be a huge, or there's going to be a huge difference once we understand our STR either also. But we need to understand how are we being charged as house tax and why. House tax is being charged because we are owners, because the tax superintendent needs to be told, you're charging us house tax not just on the built up estate but on the land either. Once we know this, then we will understand what is the STR and then we'll club this. Then you even don't need to go to the court. You just need to take your fight executively with the CO and the tax superintendent. And believe me, my entire research started like this with Major Chauhan. 2008, I'm an example without going to court. I took a refund of 2 lakh rupees approximately, a little amount less, from the CO Cantt. Wake up, that's all. We guys are revenue free grants. We were never converted into new grants. That is why we are written old grants. Understand all this. Thank you. Good day.